Okay, good afternoon. Let's start lecture. As soon as I started, they took off. Anyway, I'm Dr. Brickner, Thomas Brickner. I'm the instructor. This is Astronomy 2002. This is Section 3, Tuesday, Thursday, 1:30 to 2:50. And sorry it took me so long to get set up. We had this demonstration and my own equipment. And I usually have a TA, so hopefully by Thursday I'll have a TA. Things will get started a little bit faster. Was there a class in here before you guys got here? Oh, all right. That's the way it goes. Here's a basic outline of what we're going to do today. Let's get to the introductions first. Here's the spelling of my last name. It's a German last name, infinitely misspellable and infinitely mispronounceable. So if you feel like you're going to blow it, you can just call me Dr. B, and that'll work. Okay, that's the traditional moniker that students use, and that's perfectly fine. I'm a PhD astrophysicist, and my research area is black holes, quantum field theory of the early universe, or in the slang term, the Big Bang Theory. And we'll talk about black holes this semester. We'll talk about the early universe, the beginning of the universe in what's called the Big Bang. I have 2 lecture sections. This is my second lecture every day. But unfortunately, the first lecture, it's even bigger, it's over in another building. So I have to bring all my equipment over when I do have a demonstration and set it up again. And anyway, but I'll try to make things as optimal and as organized as possible. I don't have any GTAs yet, but I hope to, hopefully by the end of the week. All right. I'll be giving you the syllabus in just a few minutes. We'll get some syllabus handouts to you. But first, let's talk about a very, very basic question. Why are we here? Well, the reason is the general education program, GEP. And specifically the Science Foundation, half of which you fulfill with this class, Astronomy 2002. Then there's a bunch of biology classes and whatnot. But that's the basic reason that you're here, many of you. At least that is probably what you are thinking. But what I am thinking about the reason why we are here is Galileo. And Galileo was the first astronomer. Did you know that Galileo, he was actually a math professor? But he's so famous for astronomy and physics, which he basically invented physics in his day. The entire scientific enterprise that we are now a part of started with Galileo. And he was the first observer of the heavens to use a telescope. So, and that is where most of the information is coming from for us as astronomers. Did I say us, astronomers? Yep. You guys can now consider yourselves to be amateur astronomers as of today, because we're following in Galileo's footsteps. Another reason why you are here is APOD, the Astronomy Picture of the Day website that NASA publishes. Here's a picture of the APOD page from yesterday. No, actually, this is today's, which includes a photo, here it is, of the eclipse taken by Ben Cooper. Now, he's a professional photographer here in Central Florida. I believe his home base is over by Kennedy Space Center somewhere. But this photo was actually taken. Isn't that lovely? That's a great photo. And APOD, Astronomy Picture of the Day, is loaded with really cool photos. You know, like from Hubble, from Chile, the biggest observatories in Chile, and from guys like Ben Cooper. This is he took this looking north. No, looking. I don't know what direction he was looking. Must have been. Let's see. That was yesterday. It was out in Wyoming, and it looks like sundown, doesn't it? It looks almost like sundown. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up to you is that the Astronomy Picture of the Day website is loaded with photos, really cool looking ones, from amateur astronomers who started in classes just like this. All right? So when I said you could consider yourself an astronomer now, you go ahead. You can spend a lifetime learning more and more about astronomy. Planets, comets, galaxies, everything. And if you get yourself a little old telescope, you know, Ben Cooper doesn't have a very fancy telescope, I'm sure, but that's a great photo. You can do everything that he does. Now, to that end, another reason why you are here is the Robinson Observatory on our campus, down just past the police station. Make a left, and it's kind of back there. It's a silver dome, and the Robinson Observatory has public viewing that we will, hopefully everybody in here will have a chance to go, whether it fits in your schedule. It's hard to tell. But the astronomy, the UCF Astronomy Society runs, in other words, students, just like you. Many of them started in classes just like this. And now they're running the shop up there. You know, we faculty have to get their permission, you know, to go, but they run that thing. All right, the Astronomy Society. And if you look at their website, and I'll post links for this inside web courses for you, you can look. Nights Under the Stars is their public event program, and it is spectacular. And they try to do it every Wednesday night, except this. If you look down at item number 1 on their calendar, you can see that was yesterday during the day for the eclipse. All right, but most of the time it's at night. And they're looking at, the rings of Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, maybe a galaxy or so, the Big Dipper, some of the double stars, the binary star systems in the Big Dipper and whatnot. And when I go, I always teach the students about, and sometimes I'm there too, and I always teach the students about their constellations. Naked eye observing is a lovely thing to learn. And we'll be talking about things that you can see now that you're astronomers. You can start working on it. Okay, and I'll be guiding you along with all that stuff. Okay, and so the reason that you are here, GEP program, that gets you in the door, but now I want you all to think of, if you can get to one of these sessions. Oh, by the way, did I mention bonus points for your semester grade, extra credit for attending? Okay, so everybody, and if you can't make it, you can't make it, but I hope a lot of you get to get over there and observe. It is really cool. Depends on the weather and stuff, but yeah, you'll get bonus points. So yeah, GEP gets you in the door, and Professor Galileo and I are kind of trying to herd you over to the observatory and get your eyeball over there and do some observing, because that's what Galileo did. And once you get over there, it's a good chance you're going to get bit by the bug. And God bless you, because it's a beautiful hobby to have the rest of your born days. Now, Before we go any further, I want to ask, raise your hand, raise your iClicker if you have your iClicker with you. You could have seen it on the website. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, just a few of you. All right, we're going to do a practice iClicker question together. And here's what I want you to do. What is your name again? Emily. Emily, can you come up here a minute? I borrowed Emily's clicker. All right, so what I want you to do, the session is already running. All right, come on around over here. Okay, can you see the screen? Can you see it from your angle? No. Let's see, can you see that? You can't. I don't think it's on. It's not on, okay. All right, so hold the power button down until it flashes, until the big square flashes. And then type in the letter D and the letter D again. And then you'll get a message that says go nitro. See that? Mm-hmm. All right. And then a check mark. And that signifies that my computer is now listening on your frequency. All right? We're on frequency DD this semester. I see some puzzled faces. You'll see when you get your iClicker. It's not too hard. All right? There you go. Go ahead and you can click. Now, no, you can sit down now. Question. Where could you buy those? You can buy the iClicker. I don't know. Emily, where'd you buy it? Bookstore? Okay, you can buy it at the UCF bookstore, various places. Probably on the internet. Your deadline for getting it is Labor Day. The Tuesday after Labor Day is going to be the first official day of clicking. You can actually borrow it from... borrow your roommate's clicker. If they're not using it Tuesday and Thursday at 1:30, you can use it. And you have to register it in web courses. Question?
I have a question about Nights Under the Stars. Is there a limit to how many times?
No, there's not. There's no limit to how many times you can go. There's no limit to how many extra credits you can. The only limit is pretty much the weather and your schedule. So hopefully we'll get in a few. Probably later in the semester, after all the hurricanes and stuff like that. Hopefully we won't get any. All right, let's try an iClicker question. Now the next 3 lectures, let's see, today, Tuesday, and today, Thursday, and then next week, today and the next 3 after this, we'll do some practice clicking. And if you are registered through web courses with your iClicker, I will know about it. And I'll give you a bonus point for that, for getting your iClicker registered early. Now, if you don't get it until Labor Day, that's all right. You won't get any bonus points, but it won't hurt your grade. And I'll explain iClicker grading probably Thursday. But before Labor Day, we're going to do some practice questions. Now, today we have a very scientific question. I know that this is you guys are all rookies. But I think you should be able to answer this question. Go ahead and click. Hold on, let me start the question. Hold on. I usually have a TA to run this. Okay, good. Go ahead and click in. 6:13. Okay, I see a bunch of you clicking in. Good. Yeah, so Chuck Norris, facts. And, all right, 10 seconds to vote. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, 30 of you have voted. Let me, got to use the right mouse here. All right, and let me switch over. Here's how the voting. Okay, and I'll just show you the question, the answer. There's my favorite one. I just read that one this afternoon, so that's my new favorite. Anyway, so that's how our clicker questions are going to work. But usually it'll be about planets or galaxies or something like that. So we're just kind of messing around. All right. You can put your clickers away if you like. And let me close the iClicker application here. Good. All right, now I want to do a demonstration with you. All this equipment that you saw me setting up, we have something really special for you to look at, for you to use your eyeballs to see. And actually, you know what this image is? Anybody know what this is? That's a cereal box. Anybody view the eclipse yesterday with a cereal box? I saw a bunch of. Nobody wants to admit it, but no, but it's a very good way to do it. I mean, Galileo went blind looking at the sun with a telescope, so it was pretty rough for him. But yeah, it's what we call a pinhole camera, and it has very good focus, and you can see exactly what's happening. And, it just projects the image of the sun, and it's great. Anyway, let me pause the podcast here. Okay, and while you guys are doing that, I'll get the lecture's being recorded. And it'll be on YouTube. The morning lecture's already on YouTube. And I'll be putting your guys right up after lectures, so it's good to study. It's not a big study day today, but you'll want to look at those lectures from time to time. Question? What's that? There's a link to it in the web courses. It's also in the syllabus, which we're going to do in just a minute. Emily, bring those up now. Yeah, you can't carry too many. And go back and get some more. Whoa, Cameron.
Don't worry. I kind of over.
Emily, can you help Cameron there?
Oy.
Dude.
That was close.
All right. Yeah, and don't worry about bundling them up. Just stack them neatly in there, and that'll be good. And then just throw all those rubber bands in there. All right, let's go to the...
So we don't have to. All right.
Got it? Anybody else have a diffraction grating? Okay. Thanks, Emily. Yeah, just toss them in there. That's good. All right. Can you put that up on the stage there? All right, that's great. Okay, Samuel and Cameron and Emily, thank you. One more. Okay, so let's just review the concepts. The two different kinds of spectra that you can get either with a diffraction grating, which we just used, or a prism, slightly different process, refraction. You can have a thermal source that's producing light because it's hot, and that's what we would call a continuous spectrum. So you'll see some kind of a rainbow, like this image. Now, the other kind is a discrete spectrum. This is helium, which we looked at. Okay? And a bunch of different colors. One of them is going to be brightest. And I don't know if you saw all those purples, those bluish ones. But yeah, it's usually countable. All right? The rainbow is not countable. We would call it continuous, a continuous array of color. But an atom, a sample of pure gas or a molecule, molecular sample will have a countable set of colors. And make a side note, you could get spectral lines in infrared. You could get spectral lines in ultraviolet as well. We could see all the visible ones, But infrared detectors, yeah, you can see a lot of different spectral lines. Now, the reason that that occurs is because light behaves like a wave. Now, here's a picture of waves in the ocean. Look at that image. It's a satellite image of the ocean, I don't know, like in Indonesia or something, I think. And you can see that the waves, when they're coming kind of from right to left across the bottom, but then when they interact with those two islands, they kind of dip to the north and they propagate in that direction. Here's another picture. Here's waves coming in from the ocean, and this one, there's only one opening right here. All right, and they come in there and they kind of crescent out. Now, this is an important one for us to think about because it shows you why diffraction works. Every time light waves go through a gap, if they encounter a boundary and a gap, and then another boundary, it's as if, go ahead and make a note of this, it's as if you've created a new light source right in the gap itself. So when you drop a pebble in a pond or you drop a penny in the swimming pool, the rings go out, the waves go out like rings. Same thing here. Now, there's nobody here generating waves. The waves hit this gap and then they propagate on the other side of the gap as if somebody's dropping a pebble in there. All right? It's called wavelets. All right? It's a wavelet source right here in the gap. Now, here's another picture from high altitude. And this one's at the beach. And this is actually a little bit more like a diffraction grating. What you were using, these diffraction gratings up here, they look like they're clear plastic, but they're not really. What these are, it's a piece of clear plastic and very fine, closely spaced vertical lines are photocopied onto this clear plastic. So you can see through it pretty well, but you're actually going through a set of barriers and openings. And this one, it says down here, let me put on my specs. This one is 500 lines per millimeter, right? So a millimeter is like, a little sliver of fingernail, okay? And there's 500 of these lines. So they're so small you can't see them, but you can see their effect on light. If they're the right size, they'll diffract visible light. And a different spacing would diffract infrared. And a different spacing again would diffract ultraviolet or X-rays. Crystals are so small that they'll diffract X-rays. Anyways, this one is a good image from, I guess this is a satellite picture too, those jetties out there or whatever the artificial islands. And you can see them causing diffraction. Matter of fact, you can see that it's changed the shape of that beach. It's a kind of a scalloped edge because of those artificial islands. All right. Now, we're going to dismiss at 2:50. Before we do that, I want to go over the syllabus with you for just a few minutes. And Samuel and Cameron, can you do me one more favor and hand out syllabuses? See this? The top one, I think, has a bunch of syllabuses in there. Okay. Okay, so just go up and down the rows and give out piles. Here, split them in half. Okay. Just give out. When you get it, make sure your row has some and then send them backwards. Send them to the back of the room. Just hand them out in piles. All right. They're yellow piece of paper, so hand them to the side and then back. Yeah, don't forget one for your... And actually, can I have one? I better have one for myself. How about that? So we'll talk about the syllabus for a few minutes and dismiss at 2:50, and then we'll finish syllabus concepts on Thursday. And we'll have some more practice questions on Thursday. So get your clickers ready, and everything will be nice. So for the iClicker, for every day that you can be registered before Labor Day, that's the deadline to have yourself registered. For every lecture before Labor Day, you'll get a bonus point if you're registered in web courses. All right, who does not have a syllabus? Raise your hand. Okay, just a few. Extras. If you have extras, just send them to the aisle. Good, I have enough. All right, good, thanks. You can stack them over here. Anybody not have one? Okay, go ahead and get those guys up there. All right. Okay, let's talk about the syllabus. And this will be on the YouTube as well. Okay, my name is up there. Course description from the course catalog. My office is room 156 in the physical sciences building. Okay, and that's over by Student Health Center, the counseling center over that way. And there's like a shuttle bus. What's that? What's the name of those dorms over there? Is that Libra? Yeah, okay. All right, so we're over there. And my office is 156, but where we have office hours on Wednesday, you can trot down a little bit. Office hours are Wednesday, 9:30 to 11, so tomorrow. They'll be in room 158, which is a little bit bigger room for. And when you come to office hours, just drop in. You don't have to make an appointment. Just come. You come in the middle of the 90-minute period for 15 minutes, and then whatever you want to talk about is fine. If it's about your grades, if it's about the textbook, something from lecture, or anything, anything under the sun. You have the agenda in office hours. And if nobody comes, I just sit there and do work. Question? The physical sciences building, PSB, is, like I said, it's over by the counseling center. And there's a shuttle bus stop right in front of it. And I guess it's by the Libra, like the corner of the Libra community. Okay, my telephone, 407-823-6286. Right now, what I want you to do is cross it out and then write in the word no. Because I hardly ever check my voicemail messages. So it is definitely not an efficient way of contacting me. But an efficient way of contacting me is Canvas, web courses, the inbox messaging system. And that is considered secure and private. So I can talk with you in that system about your grades. Comment. Conventional email is no good. I will not respond to your conventional email. Right? Simply because there's so many of you, it would be completely impractical. But I am in Canvas all the time, and all those messages are archived and they're private. So Canvas inbox messaging is great. Well, it's not great, but I'm in there all the time. So if you want to talk to me about anything under the deep, under the sun, from the bottom of the deep blue sea to the top of Mount Everest, yeah, and infinity and beyond. Just use the messaging system. Okay, Twitter. I'm not sure how much. Until I get a TA, I don't know if we'll be doing a lot of Twitter. I usually use it for tweeting out our lecture notes. Final examination for you guys, Tuesday, December 5th. All right, so you got to make it. It's 1 o'clock to 3:50. So just make sure that you go to your BOSS. If you have a job off campus or on campus, you have to have that afternoon off because you're going to need all 2 hours and 50 minutes for that exam. And you don't want to be rushed. So tell your parents no plane tickets till after dinner. All right? Otherwise, you're going to get in a world of hurt. All right? Now, I want you, raise your hand if you're a freshman. Woo! Newbies. Newbies everywhere. Dog. Yeah, you guys that are freshmen, you dodged a bullet because the morning section, their final exam is at 7 a.m. Oh my goodness. And so you guys that are freshmen have dodged a bullet, and oh boy. But the rest, raise your hand if you're not a freshman and you have had a 7 a.m. final. Yep, see, and I have no comprehension on earth of why they permit it, but that seems to be what they do. Anyway, that's our final exam schedule question.
It says on our paper that the exam is December 5th, and you said it was a Tuesday, but that's the 4th. So is it the 5th or the 4th?
No, that can't be right. Did I make a mistake? The 5th is a Tuesday. Exams are always on one of the days of your lecture. So for us, we're either going to have a Tuesday or a Thursday. And for this section, it's a Tuesday. The other guys, it's a Thursday final, and it's 7 a.m. Anyway, all right. You guys, I've been teaching here at UCF since 2004 and frequently teaching Astronomy 2002. And always they put me in at the last minute when they need somebody to teach a big lecture section because nobody else likes to do it. I'm not smart enough. I like it. So I've never been able to choose a textbook until this semester. And for that reason, I chose a free textbook for you guys. Thank you very much. I will definitely take that bow. Yeah. And so the ISBN is on there. The website, openstacks.org, you can find it. And what I'm going to do is give you various reading assignments. So I don't want you to think of it as a page-by-page voyage from beginning to end. We're going to lecture, and I'll give you reading assignments, hopefully before the lecture, so you can read about it, and then we'll talk about it in the next lecture. But we're not, but it's free. So all that, it is unbelievable. Especially, does anybody here work for the bookstore? Because I'm fixing to say something. That's right, I am recording it. Well, I heard that there was a circus over by Tampa or something where some monkeys escaped. and I think they all work at the UCF bookstore. And that's the only explanation. It's like monkeys that escape from the circus over there. But, I'm sure they're very nice, and I do have, I look at them kindly, but organizing is not, they sometimes have a little struggle with that. But anyways, they also charge big prices. So you guys are good on that. Our two websites are basically YouTube and web courses. All right. And I think there's a link in web courses now. If there's not, I'll put one up there. We'll dismiss in just a few minutes here. Let's take a look at the exam schedule, second column, and then we'll come back and look at the rest of the syllabus on Thursday. September 12th, October. Is that October 3rd? Yeah. October 24 and November 14th. So those are Tuesdays. So you'll be able to study over the weekend and then crush my exams on Tuesday. Oh, did I say crush? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be telling you all the time how to crush my exams. And they're going to be a challenge, but they are crushable. All right, go to the very back page, flip it over. The very last sentence in the second column, I do not grade on a curve. No way, Jose. So do not ask me about it now. Don't ask me about it in October. Don't ask me about it in December. Don't ask me about it. I don't ever do it. All right? And the reason for it is basically because I get enough of you guys crushing exams. If I curved grades, the people that earn A's wouldn't get A's. So so it's my job to herd you guys, you wonderful students, into a state where you're crushing my exams with impunity. And if you do, you're going to start getting A's for your semester grade. And I am happy to give out A's. It's not free. It's going to be work, but that's fair, I think. So, if I was to grade on a curve, I wouldn't be able to do that. Anyways, there's the grade scale, 234. Basic, the baseline is 260. So, and we'll have some bonus point activity. So if you ace everything, you can get. And I've actually had a few students. I had nitro in this class once. The real nitro. And he came up to me after class one time. He said, "Dr. B, I'm nitro. Don't tell anybody." And so, because he had to skip a couple classes and stuff, so I said, "All right." And boy, he crushed everything. Nitro. Anyway, so it's possible to go over 260 if you really crush everything in your path. And God bless you if you do. I'll give you an A. All right, let's dismiss. I'll see you on Thursday. Wait a minute. Time out. Sit down. Everybody sit down. Fake out. Sorry. One more. Those guys were leaving. Okay, I do have a homework 0 for you in web courses. It's your attendance exam. Do that. Get the textbook squared away. I'll see you on Thursday. Okay, now you can go. I can't believe those guys.